Hey everybody, this is Jim at freechartvideos.com, and I am on the road, hence the lower quality video as I do this on my laptop, hence the delay as I have to work with what broadband is available at the hotel. I just want to remind you, I do not have my little disclaimer page, but I want to remind you that this video is only for educational purposes. It is not for investment advice. I cannot tell you what to do with your money. I have no business telling you, and I have no professional training that puts me in a position to be licensed for that purpose. So, that aside, let's look at a few charts. The first thing I want to look at is the Dow Jones Transport Average, and all I want you to see is that the selling today, well, let's put it this way. We've hammered on this line right here that looks pretty darn, ignoring this long candle right here back in March, that was pretty darn close to being a support line. And that's not, I'm not telling you that it's not going to break through that tomorrow to the downside. It may. But I'm looking at the markets right now, and I'm trying to find where it looks like we're going to find that next level of support. So with the Dow Jones transports, it looks like it's resting on support as I speak. So let's move on to the next chart. The Dow if we go back to this dip right here, this dip, and this dip, that may be a stretch, but I'm willing to give this right now benefit of the doubt on a very short leash that we may bounce here, and that this may end up being just a tag of this bottom line. There is another bottom line in the Russell that is longer acting. You can see it, and here it is right here. So it could be that this is going to come down and tag this line, and if that happens, then we see if it rallies and starts heading back up. Additionally, if you look at the Russell, and again, I don't want to get too rambunctious here, but you've got this line right here that looks a little bit like a neckline. I don't really want to call this an inverse head and shoulders, because if I do, then I'm setting myself up for a target that's just way high, about 1,500. So rather than be that bold, I'm just looking at this line as a line of that should provide extremely strong support should it come back to that. But if it doesn't do that, then I'm looking for this line also as a good support. Now, finally, let's look at the S&P. Let's go ahead and look at it from the on a weekly chart so we can see where we have this rising support right here that is still intact. In fact, it's got a little ways before to go down lower before it would reach that. And I would expect that to provide a strong bounce. If we look at it on a 2-day chart, you see that again. Here's the neckline of this pattern that we were looking at. This is the revised neckline that uses the 1344 top here. So you can see that that there's approximately support in the very low 1300s at this point based upon this long-term trend line. If we go in and look at this on an hourly chart, and these lines move a little bit, there's kind of roughly the line that we're looking at. Again, I'm trying to not get too tell you what, let's do this. Hold on. You know, the S&P has had a real tendency to trade in parallel channels. So just for the heck of it, I'm going to draw a line across these two tops right here and drop it down. And you know, I'm not saying that's definitely something of significance or not, but I would, you know, this could be just the depth of the pullback right here, or if this line breaks, then I'm thinking we definitely head back down to the low 1300s, maybe even the high 1290s. Looking now on a 10-minute chart. Trying to get a little feel for what's been going here. Ugly day today, and I was driving from Atlanta to Nashville during all of this, and gosh, just really did not have a good day in the markets at all, and was not in a position to do anything about it. And I should have done what I thought I was, what my head was kind of telling me to do, and that was, you know, just sell your stuff you're concerned about, and don't worry about it. Just if you know, I had one thing I should have taken a small loss in today, because by the time I got to my hotel, it had turned into a large loss. But that aside, you know, it could be that this pullback is going to be is in its final stage, maybe in a kind of a descending wedge. If we break this line right here, and right now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know that we will, because this is really some weak trading. But I would say if we break this line right here, then pull back and then bounce off of it. That should mean this selling is over. But we just have to take it one day at a time. Look, I appreciate you guys watching this kind of goofy video. I've got to head out of here in just a second and go take some pictures of the Hilton Hotel. So, hey, thanks for watching.